Let's go to the other big story we're covering this morning, that is Schapelle Corby. And a former Australian lawyer for Corby says her family will be jumping for joy at the announcement of that reduction in her sentence for drug trafficking in Indonesia.
Kerry Smith-Douglas represented Schapelle in Australia for about 4 years, up until 6 months ago. She joins us now via webcam from Stanford University in California. Good morning. Thanks for your time. Now, the family, of course, had been campaigning for this for years. Were they confident an early release would be granted?
No, well, they were hopeful, but they didn't believe that it would happen so quickly. And we're all delighted that the time limitation is getting shorter and shorter. We're hoping that she will be given parole by August, September, October this year, and then she will go and reside with her sister. And then after a period of time, she will speak with the prison authorities, she'll speak with the parole board, she will go through certain procedures to see whether she is not going to go back on drugs, and then hopefully return to Australian soil in time so that she can get some medical help, psychiatric help.
So how confident are you then that she will in fact be paroled this year? It's not usual for Indonesian authorities to grant parole to foreigners.
Absolutely. It's very unusual that the Indonesian government has been so lenient. As we know, she was given a 20-year sentence for marijuana charges. I think that the government now realise how dreadfully sick the girl is. She is in desperate need and in dire straits to come home and get proper medical treatment. And I think even the governor of the prison realises how sick the girl, poor old Schapelle, is.
Now, you haven't been involved in her case for about 6 months, nor have you ever met Schapelle Corby, and you've highlighted some of the reasons why you think the Indonesian government has chosen to act. Why do you think they've chosen to act now?
Well, we've kept the pressure on. We haven't been lax in any respect. We have continued writing to members of Parliament. My latest letter was to Michael Kirby, the former High Court judge. I've had meetings with different lawyers who also have been supportive of her release. We have written to the Prime Minister on several occasions, the President of Indonesia on several occasions. We've kept the pressure on, and I think with the media spotlight, this has assisted her greatly. Also, her campaign committee has assisted her greatly. The people that are writing in from all over the world have assisted her greatly. And I'm very disappointed, in fact, in the Australian government, who have done very little to support Schapelle.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that because the Foreign Affairs Minister, Bob Carr, says that the Prime Minister has raised this issue with Indonesia, and he, in fact, raised it with the Indonesian Foreign Minister in March when he met him.
Yeah, well, what did it achieve? Absolutely nothing. And what they should have said is, look, if you don't release all of our Australians from your Indonesian prison, they should have done a prison exchange program, which Rudd promised to have done in 2005. The Australian government really have done nothing, and they should say to the Indonesians, we're sick and tired of supporting you financially when you're down, so, you know, time's up. You send our Australians home and we'll send your Indonesians home, and let's call it square.
Kerry Smith-Douglas, there are reports coming out this morning that Indonesian ministers have said that this deal is in result of Australia agreeing to lenient treatment for Indonesian crew members on asylum seeker boats.
Well, we have been very lenient, and that's another issue. I would like to be pushing for those refugees to go to Nauru because they've already got the facilities there, but that's another issue. We can talk about that another day.
Do you worry about Schapelle Corby's mental health in the meantime while this parole decision is made?
Absolutely. I've always been concerned about Schapelle Corby's mental health, particularly after the independent psychiatrist flew over and saw her in the prison, and then Channel 9 showed me pictures of her walking in the quadrangle, and I then showed it to Professor Ian Coyle, and he said to me that the reason her mouth was open and she was dribbling and as she walked was because of the side effects from the antipsychotic drugs that she's on.
Kerry Smith-Douglas, thank you for your time this morning.
It's my pleasure.